Welcome to Black Tech Voices, the podcast that amplifies the journeys, challenges, and triumphs of Black IT professionals in the diaspora. From breaking barriers to driving innovation, we're sharing real stories, real struggles, and real success in the world of tech and digital careers. Tune in, get inspired, and be part of the movement. Black Tech Voices, where our stories matter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Black Tech Voices. I'm your host, Chimmy, and I'm excited to have you here today. At Black Tech Voices, we spotlight inspiring Black professionals thriving in tech careers around the globe, celebrating their journey, learning from their challenges, and sharing powerful insights to help you grow. Today, we have a fantastic guest joining us. Her name is Chimmy. Chimmy is a senior business analyst with extensive experience across multiple sectors, including housing, funeral services, and energy. She has successfully navigated diverse industries, delivering impactful solutions through expert stakeholder management. Today, we'll dive into a critical topic, stakeholder management. And Chimmy will be sharing practical insights, personal experiences, and effective strategies that she's used to build trust and deliver value to businesses. So whether you're just starting out in tech, making a career shift, or looking to level up your skills, this is your space to connect, learn, and get empowered. So sit back, tune in, and let's dive into today's conversation, because your voice matters, our stories count, and together we rise. Welcome back to Black Tech Voices. Chimmy, how are you doing?
Hello, Mr. Funsho. I'm fine, thank you.
Nice. How is it? How is work? How are you finding everything?
It's work, doing well. I thank God for work. It's quite interesting to be in such space where you see things come to life. So work is doing well as well.
Nice one. I know you've just started a new job, a new contract. So is that still within the energy sector as well?
Yes, it's within the energy sector. The new contract is within the energy sector. It's really great there. I think my skills from the last energy sector I worked in helped me to get into this one. It's a big one, and I'm grateful for that and giving me the opportunity to be working here where I'm working currently.
Fantastic. So, guys, this is Black Tech Voices, where we bring in IT professionals to come in and share their experience with everyone. And so I'm just going to ask this first question that I normally ask everybody anyway. And that is, are you able to share us through your journey? I know you're working as a business analyst at the moment. So how did you transition into IT within the digital space? Especially, you're a Black professional working in the diaspora. So how did you transition into IT?
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. I'll just tell you my journey. So for me in IT, I studied project management back in Nigeria. So I had a little background, not really IT, because the way it was taught, the degree was taught was not basically IT, it was just general project management. Before I came to UK, just after I graduated from Federal University of Technology, Owerri, and I came into the UK. So I was just wondering, what can I do for myself? You know what it is when you go and have a degree and you come out, you don't have a job experience. So that's why I always advise anyone who is in uni to try and have a little bit of job experience if you can, so that when you come out, you're not like struggling. So I came in really fresh in the UK, was not really sure of what to do at the point, and I started having kids. So that was another challenge, because how can I be working in full-time job in the workplace, in the office? And at that time, it was quite early, so working from home was not a thing at that time. So I had to always be in the office, and I had a little girl, a baby. So how would I manage that, to be honest? And so at that point, I didn't go straight into project management or IT at the moment. And I just made the decision to let her grow a bit, get into school, and then I'll pick that up. So while I was doing that, I got a job as project support within the healthcare system, which helped me pick shifts, and I was able to do that. And what helped me within that was because I had a project management background. So my manager saw that she could manage projects. So rather than just keep me working as a healthcare support worker, which I was doing, I would go into the office and help the managers and do project support work. So that's why I started off with an agency. And then from there, I got into project support in the NHS in Warsaw. So while I was doing project support in Warsaw, it was more project based. So I was introduced to working with project managers, PMOs, and all of that. There was not really much about business analysis at that time. It wasn't pushing through. We were hearing about it, but it hasn't come up. Then I think it was my brother-in-law who asked me, "Oh, you've been looking for a way to transition. There's this thing about business analysis. Go and have a look and see if it's something you can do." I said, "Let me research. I don't know about it, but let me do a little bit of research." And I went online and researched. Really not sure at that point. And then a friend of mine, God bless her, Ola, we all went to church together. And all of a sudden, one day I came to church and I saw Ola carrying a travel bag, suitcase. I said, "Where are you going to? Which one is travel bag again to church? Where? What's up?" And then she told me, "I got this job." She introduced me to, she told me about business. And I said, "Oh, really? This is interesting that she's going to work," because she came back home to Wolverhampton, but her work was somewhere in London or thereabout. So she was going back. And I was like, "This is really interesting. Tell me more. I want to go into that space, but I don't know much about it. I have got links with people and I've worked with project managers and all of that, but I need to transition into a space I want to be in. And I'm someone who likes taking opportunities when opportunities come my way. I don't just forget about it." So Ella went to London and I disturbed Ola. I rang Ola on the phone and I said, "Ola, you need to tell me how to do this. How do I go about it?" And then she said, "Chimmy, you're actually working in that space, so it should be easy for you to transition." She introduced me to Avenue Impact, and I called where I did a training that helped me build on that skill. And because I was already in that space, I learned a lot from Avenue Impact. I built on that skill. And then she said, "You have to do your research and grow and build yourself to be able to go in, because it's not like you won't be spoon fed. If you want it, you go for it and you get it." So luckily, while I was working, looking for opportunities to transition, and any organization that will give me the opportunity to delve into business analysis, I was training at the back of it with Avenue Impact to help me with the skills I needed to do the work effectively. Luckily, when I finished my training with Avenue, we had lovely work experience, which was awesome. After my training, I joined work experience groups. I didn't stop there. I was working, doing all of that to help me build it, and it helped me. And I landed my first role as a business analyst within the housing sector. And that is how it started. And then I transitioned working in all the different organizations to see myself where I am today.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that inspiring story. And I think the good thing about what you said is there's been this desire to succeed within the project management space. So around, even when you were working within the healthcare sector as support worker, you still had this desire to, you still push yourself within as a project support. And it's really good because it's always good to just be determined. When you know what you want, just go for it and don't relax at all. So yes, the topic we're treating today is around stakeholder management. And of course, I know that you're an expert because you've worked within different industries, you've had experience managing different people, different stakeholders. So I think the first question I want to throw at you is, what does stakeholder management mean in a project? So, and why is it crucial for a business analyst? So what does stakeholder management, what does it mean in a project, and why is it very crucial? Why is it important for a business analyst?
So let's start with what the project management means.
Stakeholder management.
Management means in a project. So stakeholder management is basically where you identify, engage, communicate, and analyze with different individuals or group who are interested and who have a vested interest in a project success. So how do you communicate with them? How you engage with them? Because all of this stakeholder management task that you have to do helps to ensure that the project is achieved and that we're meeting the business need overall. So we have different kind of stakeholders. So let's not just look at it, we could have the end users are our stakeholders, the project sponsor is a stakeholder, the executive, if we have regulators, if it's a regulatory project, they're also stakeholders. Your team members are stakeholders. Your manager is a stakeholder as well. So these are people that as a BA, you manage them within a project to ensure that we meet the business goal and the business need and ensure that that project is successful. So in terms of why it is crucial in business analysis, so what does business analysis, what do we do in a project? So what we do is that we bridge the gap between the business needs and the technical solution. So this is what we want to do for the business, and we need a technical solution. What do BAs do there? So we bridge that gap. What does business needs? Translating business needs in a way that the technical guys who are going to build a solution understands it, and they build the solution to ensure that they are meeting the business needs. That's what BAs do. Now, stakeholder management is very crucial because to ensure that we are able to translate the business needs effectively to the stakeholders, to the technical guys, apologies there, ensure that we translate the business needs to the technical guys who are going to produce this solution for the business, we need to do a couple of tasks, and these are some of the tasks that ensures that we're able to complete this. For example, identifying the business needs and translating them. Now, a poor managed stakeholder team, when you poorly manage stakeholders, you're going to struggle in identifying the business needs. Business analysts gather requirements, clarify the requirements of the business, and validate them. Now, if you do not manage your stakeholders well, you're going to have issues. You're going to get incomplete requirements or misunderstood requirements. Secondly, in terms of managing expectations of the stakeholders, if you do not have a well-managed stakeholders, at times most stakeholders have got different priorities and expectations. So a well-managed stakeholder group, you'll be able to meet each and everyone's expectations and align them and avoid conflicts in the project. Also, stakeholder management is all about ensuring buy-in and supporting your project. Now, I'm a business analyst and they told me to go and analyze this for this project, and I need to get all the buy-in of the different stakeholders. If I don't manage them well, I would not get their buy-in and support. So where I have managed my stakeholders well, stakeholders will be happy to support the project. They will allocate resource to help in the project and drive adoption of the final solution. So they'll be like, oh yes, I'm happy with this project. Explain to them what the project is all about, how it meets these business needs, how it's going to make their work effective. And they'll be happy to allocate resource. Oh, you can speak to this guy in my team. I'll allocate him to your project, and everything you need, he's going to help you. And then you get their buy-in. Most especially, and the last one I would like to speak about is all about mitigating risk. So when you have managed your stakeholders well, they would be open to tell you potential concerns. Hello?
I'm listening. Yes.
Oh, my laptop went blank, so I couldn't see you. I was wondering whether I had lost you along the line.
No. So where you stopped was the stakeholders will be able to, in terms of
managing risk, yes. So when I have a well-managed stakeholder, they'll be open to tell me their potential concerns in this project, which help me to identify risk early, and we are able to manage it as a project team. Any risk guys identified early is very good because you can mitigate it early enough to avoid any problem with this project. So basically, in short, and I want to just summarize it, is saying stakeholder management helps to ensure project success and foster collaboration and minimize risk to ensure that whatever projects we're doing aligns to the business objectives.
Fantastic. Whoa, that's a long tutorial that you gave there, actually, in terms of what stakeholder management mean and how it is also critical, how it is crucial for business analysts. I know you mentioned it's a bridge. So as for a business analyst, actually bridging both the business stakeholders and especially you identify some tasks around identifying business needs. So those are some of the tasks that the business analyst will carry in stakeholder management, identifying business needs, managing expectation, helping
Yep.
to set priorities, and also managing conflicts as well, managing requirements, supporting business buy-in, and also risk
Yep.
management as well. So
Yep.
I think these are very good points that you've highlighted. But one thing that I want to know is, in terms of managing stakeholders, multiple stakeholders, I'm sure that you'll have had a situation where there are you have multiple stakeholders with two different expectations, what you highlighted. So with two different expectations, maybe in one of the industry, it could be maybe in your legal, maybe within the energy sector, maybe within the funeral services. So can you share an example of where that had happened, and how did you manage those expectations as well from from
Okay.
multiple stakeholders?
I'll use the example of the housing industry because of the kind of project
Yeah.
I was working on when I was there. It was a project where we're trying to develop and improve the customer portal. So this is a portal where customers will go in to raise a report if they have issues in the housing or book a repair. So if they want to repair something, they need something that's spoiled and they want someone to come in to repair it. Or I want to raise this is spoiled. I need you to raise it. The company had a customer portal, but it was very outdated. So most of the times, in fact, every time the customers would ring on the phone to complain to the customer engagement team of issues, to raise a report, to say, and when they raise a report, a lot of things goes around. It's back and forth. Can you take a picture? Send me a picture. Can you tell me when it happened? What happens? All of that back and forth that goes on. So they wanted to build a portal where they can raise a report and any issues they have, they can put it in there. We had basically my four key stakeholders in that project was the customer engagement team. So that project was for them. I had the IT team, the finance team, and the senior management teams. All of them had different expectations. They had different priorities, whatever it was they wanted, which I would explain how different it was. So the customer engagement team wanted a highly interactive and visually engaging design to attract and retain customers. You know our IT guys, how they are. They were focused on maintaining system performance, ensuring minimal server upload and all of that. That's how IT is. And then we had our finance. So it was very clear our finance was more interested in the cost and budget. This project cannot be above this budget. The SLT team, which is senior leadership team, they're more important and give me feedback on what's happening. Hope things are meeting and aligning to the budgets we have released and all of that. That's what they were interested in. So these priorities are different priorities. They were conflicting because from the customer engaging side, any highly interactive design would impact the performance. So T and customer engagement were really conflicting. And if you want to do a highly interactive design, then it meant that it's going to be more cost to the project. So I had to ensure that it doesn't go above budget. So I looked at it and said, oh, this is quite interesting. First of all, as a business analyst, I'll just conduct the requirement on analysis to understand it. I spoke to them individually to be able to capture each team's requirement and understand it differently. And then what I did was to facilitate the workshop. Before I did that, I documented the requirements and then I looked and prioritized them. And while I was prioritizing them, looking at the business needs, I realized that some of the customer engagement features were nice to have. And I thought about it and said, this nice to have features the customer engagement needed, would it impact the project in any way? No, it wouldn't. So I just said, I think what's going to happen is the nice to have, we can look at it and implement a phased approach for this project so that I ensure that those requirements that were must haves and that would impact the delivery of the project were the ones we put in the first phase. After doing my documenting, analyzing, and all of that, I had to arrange a workshop for where everyone was involved. Senior management didn't have to be there, so I had finance, I had customer engagement, and I had IT, just to show them this is what my analyses are based on your requirements. Most in my years of working, a lot of stakeholders are very visual. So I worked with the UX guys who were available, and they worked with me, did a quick mock-up to show and demonstrate how different designs options could affect the performance and implication on cost. And I shared it on that workshop. And I recommended, looking at everything that was needed, I recommended the phased approach where we have an initial release focusing on a clean, lightweight design with core interactive features that would just meet the customer engagement team, which is their key goal. And also for IT, it met their need of performance concerns and everything. So it was not too highly interactive. It can sit within what we had in our system currently. And we can look at a phased approach where when IT had improved in our infrastructure, we can now look at the other nice to haves and put them on the second phase. Everyone was happy with it. Finance was happy because it met with what we had and what the analysis had done, and with the agreements with everyone, it would meet our project's budget. So everyone was happy with it. And it's not just when I finished that and we agreed and it was aligned and everyone was happy with it, I had to document our agreement and shared it with SLT. SLT approved it. And as a result of that, all stakeholders were satisfied with the compromise. The customer portal was launched at the scheduled time with the agreed budget. And we had appealing design for the first stage that met all the must-haves for the customer engagement team. And then as we did that, we rolled it out. And when we rolled it out, it proved that financially for SLT, and we're happy to do a second phase. So customer engagement increased by 15% on the first quarter of the rollout. And as a result of that, afterwards, when the infrastructure was upgraded, we proceeded with the second phase. And this helped a lot. I know that everyone at that time, when they had conflicting requirements, it felt like there was a bridge between customer engagement and IT. Customer engagement felt that IT doesn't want to do this, they don't want to do that, but they didn't understand the constraint on IT, and finance had to tell them this is the budget. At the end of the day, it led to a smoother interaction for future projects with all the different teams.
Oh, wow. I think I should actually just sit down and then listen to your lecture. Just sit down, listen. Wow. I really enjoyed that. How you started your explanation around, in fact, you identify those stakeholders, which was really good. IT team, finance team, customer engagement team, the SLT team. SLT, who are SLT?
So it was the senior leadership team. Those are what we call it. Just short. So let me just remember. Senior leadership.
So they are more like your big stakeholders.
Yes, they're the big. Yeah, they're the big. Yes, they're the sponsors there. You had the sponsors there. You had the CTO there.
Directors, CTO
all of them were all there.
Fantastic. So that's really good. And I like the fact that you also highlighted the situation and how the different expectations that different stakeholders are they expected on that particular project. I like the tool you used your Moscow very well by asking very valid questions around the different expectations and the needs of different stakeholders, like the customer engagement team. I think you said you asked the question around what's their needs, whether their needs actually must have or nice to have, because they wanted different outlook and make sure that the interface is beautiful and attractive, but not necessarily a must-have. So I like those techniques that you've used to ensure that you managed all the different expectations and make sure that everybody was happy. You set up the workshop and you ensured everybody was happy. Now, you said something about the achievements, actually. How was the achievements measured? So I know you said since that the customer experience increased by 15%. So how was that measured? Was that through the feedback, or did you use any KPIs?
Yes, so the customer engagement team, while we were looking at this project, they had KPIs to measure the success of the project. the senior, the head of customer engagement, she really knows. She
Mm.
knows her onions. So she had
Right.
KPIs where they measured it. They used a lot of different tools, surveys with the customer.
Good.
They were able to. There were other ways they were able to click in rates and all of that technical bits they put at the bottom. Clicking, so they
Right.
know how many people clicked into the
Ah,
website, how
right.
many people
Okay.
completed, and all of that. So
Right.
they were able to, and because it was a new platform, a newly refined, some other whatever. What we did was we had to do a new registration, so they knew how many people registered into the portal because it was a new portal. So with that as well, they were able to measure the engagement with customers. And
Right.
what the customer engagement team did was a process where when customers called them, they would direct them to the portal. So and they noticed that when they directed them to the portal, they weren't coming back. So the experience was good because when you have bad user experience, you'll be like, oh, I did this and I couldn't carry on, so I'm calling back to complete. So that were some things they measured as well. They used to measure the engagement and
Yeah.
how it increased along the line.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I'm going to move on because I know there's a lot you want to talk about, but I'll move on now to, yeah, so these are two different questions, but
Okay.
I will allow you to, I'll just throw it open to you. If you haven't worked within the agile ways, if you haven't worked within the agile environment, it's okay. But I know that within an organization, there'll be stakeholders who are, they count them as difficult stakeholders. And you will have had several of them in
Yes.
different situations. So, how do you handle people like that? How do you handle the stakeholder, especially those who are resisting change or ways of operation, or maybe those who are also restricting agile ways of working? If it's not agile, but generally, have you managed difficult
Stakeholders.
stakeholders? Yes.
You always find them difficult stakeholders.
Mm.
And the only thing is once you identify them, and the thing about working in IT and working in a team is try and create rapport with people because people will tell you when you have that relationship with people around in your team, they'll tell you, oh, are you working with that lady? She's difficult or she's like that. You would always get that inclination before when you start and when you're discussing your project with
That's
your
true.
team. So when you get that, what I would normally do is just put that identify as difficult stakeholders. I would always create a one-to-one relationship with them because some of them are difficult because I've just realized some of them are difficult because they like the attention. When you're not carrying them along, when you're not telling them what is happening, when you're not telling them this is the objectives of the project, how it is going to help your team, how it's going to improve your processes, just feel what's that project all about? I don't understand. So what I do is I identify them. I send an email. Somebody, hi, I'm this person. I'm working on that project. Please, can you let me know when it's suitable for me to have a chat with you, just to tell you what we're doing? I'm like, I'll let them. I'm very flexible. They'll put in time. Oh, put at this time, and I'll have just a meeting with that person. That makes them feel special. I'm speaking to you because This is a project coming up. This is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to improve. This is how it's going to improve your team's processes and all of that. Let them know, show them visually, tell them what you're trying to achieve, and then ask them, what are your concerns? Now, they now feel important because you are asking to understand what their concern is. You want to know what the issue is with them. They'll tell you, oh, this is what it is. This is the issues we're having. This is where in the project we like to improve and that. And I say, look at it, prepare yourself for that call with them, and then let them know, oh, we are going to have a workshop next week or next 2 weeks. To be nice to have you because your input there would go a long way. And you see, they would not decline that call. They will come in because you have spoken to them prior to the big
The meeting.
workshop. Yes.
Yeah.
So I try to meet each of them individually. If I'm in the office, I'll find you. Hi, I'm person working here. Da, da. They've seen you, and then they'll come into that meeting, and then you see them participate, and people will be like, "Is that person actually participating?" People will be surprised, but they don't know you've done the groundwork before the big workshop. So they're not coming in there with negativity. They already know what the project is about. You've given them a snippet of what it is. So they are coming in there to see how they can bring a success to the project. That's how I manage difficult stakeholders. In terms of Agile, a lot of people resist Agile because not that they just want to receive Agile, they resist Agile because they lack knowledge of Agile. So they don't even know what it is and how it works. So in that scenario, I remember while we were working in my last with energy industry, when we already had we had different products groups and our product was using Agile. So we wanted to ensure that everyone uses the same, transitions it across all the other products. We had 4 products and our product was used as an example. So people were coming to watch how we ran our sprint ceremonies, from stand-ups to reviews to demo and all of that. And then we used influencers and champions within the team. So in most organizations, people would most likely listen and trust their colleagues. And there are some people they call champions. You will know them. So get their buy-in and then they will feed into their colleagues. So that's how I manage all of that.
Fantastic. Really pleased with your explanation on how you manage difficult people. I know that in project environments, there'll be times where when you're just joining a project, you'll be informed. So this particular individual is very good. Be
Individualists,
careful.
yes.
You'll be informed. So really good on how you said you build a rapport with such individuals, and also you create a one-to-one relationship and you reach out to them actually. And what we normally say, you also try to rub their back to make them feel special. So and I don't think there's anyone you treat special and you make very important that will not give you
Yes.
attention anyway.
Yes.
So but I think my question on the back of that is, as a Black professional working in the diaspora, have you experienced, because you're a Black person, and I know that you're working within, of course, the other races, have you experienced some sort of restriction or rejection from other people or other races working, or how has it been? Let me just put it that way. How has it been for you as a Black professional? Because this is also Black Tech Voices anyway. So we're kind of just projecting the Black professionals working in the diaspora. So how has it been for you? I'm sure I've heard some people that have said, I've really enjoyed it. I've not experienced any sort of racism. It's been very smooth, and which I believe it has been the same for most people, to be honest. But how has it been for you?
To be honest, working as a Black professional, I have not experienced it any unique kind of challenge. So when I'm saying unique, is more around maybe racism or people thinking. The kind of challenge I have experienced is the same as what my counterparts whites are experiencing. And because we have a team meeting where we talk about our challenges, I have realized, so when I say, oh, if I am experiencing, she or he is experiencing it, so it's not just unique to myself as a Black business analyst working in diaspora. The thing is, from where I am sitting, whether you are Black or white, so if you do not, then you would experience some challenges where people are underestimating you. I know that as Blacks, we would always work harder anyway, because we have it already at the back of our mind saying, oh, I need to work hard. It's always there. But by the time you find yourself, you've worked for a while and you see that it's not just you, everyone is facing the same challenges, then I think your mindset would now change. We'll work hard, put in the work. As long as you are putting in the work, whether you're Black or white, you're not going to face any challenge. As long as you own your expertise and bring value, you show that you're competent enough and you're confident and you are meeting so for example, let me give an instance. As a BA, I've got instances where I would come into a meeting, we have 2 weekly project meetings, and I'm to go away and process map. And they're expecting that by the time I come back in the next 2 weeks, I have at least something to show them. In every occasion where I've gone away with a task, I come back to show them something. And if you're someone who would not come back to show results, then that's when people will lack trust in you. When you go away and you don't come back with results. Now,
And
it doesn't matter what your rate, it doesn't matter. That is going to affect everyone's trust in you. There are scenarios where I've been in some occasions where my counterpart who is white is not coming up with results and they say, go in and assist because they
Right.
know that you are able to process map confidently, and they say go in and see what's happening there. And then you see that you have the two of you working on that project rather than having one person, just because they do not trust the person to come back with the results
The
that
results.
they're expecting. So as long as you put yourself in and you show your worth and you own your expertise, then you will not struggle. And one big thing I want to let a lot of blacks understand is keep your confidence, hold on to your confidence. Don't go in there and jitter. I have been in meetings where senior professionals come in and they ask them questions and they do not know. And they will confidently tell you, I do not know. Let me go away and research. Now they are saying it confidently. It shows that nobody knows it all. They will confidently say, I do not know at this point. Let me go away. So, as a black professional, if you do not know, confidently let them know you do not know. You're going to go away to bring out results. And you come back with the results. When you come back, they say, oh, yes, the person has done the job properly. So, I've not experienced such because I put in myself. If you put in yourself, you go places.
That's actually very, very good. The fact that you said you've worked harder as a black professional, you have it at the back of your mind to always work hard. And I think I've had a session with someone, with a professional as well, who also said that what I normally do is I'm a very positive person. And I treat everybody, regardless of what your race is, I treat everybody the same. So very positive, and that she doesn't believe in racism because she has not experienced it.
Interesting.
I'm not sure, maybe because we were black and we work hard, and especially if we are professionals, and whether professionals or whatever we do, we work really hard. So I think on the back of that, what advice would you then give to other black professionals who actually struggle? There are people who are struggling with stakeholder management. I know you say things like that they should be confident, but there's still, what advice would you give those who want to gain stakeholders' trust, if I put it that way, and
Yeah.
also ability to also influence them?
I think one of the biggest thing for people that want to go in and are struggling is to try and build strategic relationships.
Good.
So when you go into a space and you're working, and especially in our field, you have to build relationships to get people to trust you. So from the very instance when I join a project or any project I'm put into, I would like to identify who are those people, who are the stakeholders there, understand their influences, and just introduce myself and try and build that rapport with them. Once you build rapport with them, then you start showing, when you go away with the task, you try your best to come up with, this is what I've been told to go away with, I'm back with it. They start building the confidence in you. That builds a lot of confidence. Stay resilient and keep up the good work. Also look for a network. To be honest, look for a network where you can share your issues, your problems, and it will help you navigate through the challenges. Because when you have a network, you can come and say, oh, look at what I'm going through. What do you think? Have you done this before? Have you done that before? And that network would help you. So that is my advice.
Oh, that's really good, actually. Building relationship and network. So an example of network is having impact community, and also experts match as well, where professionals can come in and network with themselves. And I guess the network you're also referring to would be like maybe forum of professionals, isn't it?
Yes, that's all the so for example, with the Avenue Impact one, because I was once an alumni of Avenue Impact, we have that platform where we collaborate. We can ask questions, throw questions, you get people helping you. I have used that platform severally, and I have people calling me to help me. Even when I have interviews, I throw it out and get people ringing me and DMing me and saying, oh, look at this is the way you can manage this is where you can do that, I've faced this before, and all of that. So those are the kind of network people need. It doesn't have to be within your workspace, but if you build it, professional networking where you can share your experiences, and there are a lot of people there that you can look up to, have a leadership mentor, people in leadership roles within that community who can help you and navigate the challenges you're struggling with.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'll also ask this question in terms of tools and techniques that you use to keep your stakeholders engaged and informed throughout the project. So, what tools have you used in
Engaging with
your
stakeholders.
career? Yeah.
We all use emails, Outlooks, and Teams, group chat, channel. The new one I just joined, people were messaging me, had people, my team messaging me directly, and I just said, just let's be being transparent. So I just made a group chat on Teams. Fairly easy. I didn't have to do much. I didn't have to need to anybody to make me a Teams channel. I just created a group chat and put everyone who wanted to be in there. And when we till for the past 4 weeks, I've been in there. We're using that group's Teams chat to ask questions, respond. So it's quite transparent, and everyone in the team can see what's happening. And even if you think this is what it is, someone say, "Oh no, it's not that. It's this." It's very clear with us, so we use such. Another way for stakeholder engagements is if you're working within an agile environment, agile ceremonies, daily stand-ups for internal teams to communicate, sprint reviews and demos to show and share your work progress with the stakeholders for early feedback. We also have visual tools we use like Power BI, Tableau, DevOps chat dashboards, or process maps, so visual process mapping and all of that, mock-ups with using Figma or Balsamic and all of that. Another one is RaidLog to track potential concerns. So these are some of the tools I've used to engage with stakeholders.
Brilliant. That's really great. Having those tools that you've used to manage, to communicate and manage stakeholders as well. So, and there are people who actually who are aspiring to go into tech. How would you advise them to develop let's even say for those who want to transition into tech? The transition for you, was it challenging? Did you find it very difficult? So, because some people are always afraid that tech is for some intelligent people, especially for people like you now, looking at you now, someone sees you be like, this woman is an intelligent lady. But then, how would you encourage them? These are people who are still contemplating. Maybe some of them have heard about project management or IT, and they are still not, they don't even have a clue of what it is. So, was it
Mm.
challenging for you? Was it difficult for you? And how would you advise and encourage them?
For me, it wasn't challenging. To transition into the space I'm in, you don't have to be very technical. To be honest, I'm not even technical. You, there are some technical terms that would come in to go through here and to fly out, and I'm like, what is that? And there are some times I'll go into a call with a technical guy, and I'm like, please, can you explain it to me like explaining to a 5-year-old? Because I need to translate this to business people who do not understand all of what you're saying. I'm very open and I'll stop and say, please, what does this mean? You don't have to be technical. The role of a business analyst and even as a project manager, all you need to understand is what is the business need. This is how you translate it to the technical guys. And when technical requirements come, we have technical people who are there who can come in and work it out with you. That is why they are there. That is why they are the technical guys. That is why he's the solution architect. So you don't have to be technical. The most important thing most people need is it's going to be a mix of a soft skill and analytical skills. Soft skill is one skill that you have to develop yourself. The most important thing for a business analyst or a PM is communication, active listening, communicate clearly, be clear, be open, be transparent. Listen so that you can pick up what people are saying. Be open minded, ready to accept change, build relationships. You don't need technical terms to do all of this, but these are all the skills that in my pack that I use regularly. Then when I started transitioning in, I was really open minded, open to learn. Whatever it is, I'll pick it up, pick up what I need to help me and leave what I don't need to help me. So I don't make it too complicated. There is one word I never forget when I joined Venue Impact is keep it simple. I keep it very simple because when you have a mind of keeping things simple, you can translate really complex processes into a simple process because you're trying to break it down. This is the process. Let me break it down from one stage to another. Just keep it simple. And once you keep it simple, the technical guys will understand it and then they'll run with it. So don't be scared, put in the work, give it a go. Because if you don't give it a go, you wouldn't even get there. And then one day you get there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today, Chimmy. Guys, this is Chimmy. She's an experienced business analyst. So she's been working within the IT sector, like I said initially, for many years. And then we've learned a lot from you today around stakeholder management and different tools you use to manage different stakeholders. And I'm really happy that you're doing well and you continue to do well within the digital and tech space as well. And for those who are still looking to, still have desire to just get into tech, feel free to join us or feel free to join a network. Like what Chimmy said, join a network. Feel free to join a network, and reputable network, though, a group that will support you and of course hold your hands. There are many of them, but I can always tell you that Having Impact is the best. And I'm sure Jimmy can just attest to that as well. So join a network of professionals. We have within our network in Having Impact, we have the project managers, we have the business analysts, we have the Scrum Masters, we have delivery managers, we have product managers, product owners, we have the technical team as well, the developers, data management guys. So if you're interested and if you want to go into tech, or you're struggling, even if you're struggling at work and you're a professional, join us and you're going to join Having Impact actually, or join a network of professionals, reputable professionals that would support you and help you to resolve any challenges you have. And I'm sure that you're going to be, once you join Having Impact, you're never going to regret it. So yes, guys, this is Black Tech Voices, where we're bringing IT professionals, especially Black professionals who are working in the diaspora, to come and share their experience. And we've heard from Chimmy. Chimmy has worked within different industry, from the legal industry, funeral services, and she's also working within the energy sector. I think she spent a lot of time within the energy sector, so she's an expert within that space as well. So thank you so much, Chimmy, for coming today. Really grateful. I'm happy for having you, and it's good to see that you're doing well in the industry. Keep shining, lady. I'm sure next time I'll bring you back. There are still many things that I know you wanted to say, but because of time, we won't be able to, we're not able to cover a lot. But next time we're going to bring you back to Black Tech Voices. So thank you so much. And God bless everybody. Thank you so much. Till next time we'll meet, and we'll bring in another person to come and share the experience with you on a different topic entirely. So
Thank you.